Welcome to another episode of Everyday Amazing. I'm your host, Guy Alton, and as you can see, we're actually not in the studio right now. We're actually on live location in Old Sac at Laughs Unlimited. I have the very funny, very famous Malik B. How you doing, man?
I appreciate you. I got to clap for myself every time I hit my name. You know, if anybody ain't gonna clap, you got to clap for yourself, bro. You know how hard you work. So I thought you had an applause break or something.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
You know, clapping is contagious. And nobody clap, so I was just like, I bet.
I got you, man. Tell me a little bit about, man, how you got your start into comedy. Was it something you always wanted to do, or did you just fall into it?
How I got my start, it landed into me. Pause. It landed into me. It's insane. I was on set of a movie called Burning Sands, and all my friends was like, "Hey, bro, I think you should do stand up." I was like, no, and I went home. And my friend told me, she was like, "Yo, I think we should take this stand-up class. Just try it, see if you like it." I tried it, I loved it, and that was like 9 years ago. I've been doing it ever since.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I took a stand-up class, and after RIP David Arnold was like, "Bro, I'll hate to see you give up on this, just to see how far you take it," because we had to do a showcase, and I killed at the showcase. He said, "Bro, if you give up, then you're going to regret it." And I was like, "Damn, no word stuck with me," so I just kept going.
So, you know, you taking a class and, you know, some of the older comedians, you know, how they came up, there wasn't a lot of people taking classes now. Have you ever gotten any, like, pushback on, like, you know, people taking classes versus people who just went out there and bombed a whole bunch of times until they got better?
No. I think that if you don't know anything, I'm a person that if I don't know, I want to ask, I want to learn. Yeah. I never want to jump into it. That's like me going to the military and I don't know any kind of battles or field. I just go in there and I get killed. Yeah. Because I don't know anything. So I want to learn everything. That's who I am. Everything. I'm very, strategical or very strategic, I should say, and very methodical about like how I approach things. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm going to learn everything I need to know about stand-up. But the best way to learn is to do it, experience. So that's why I don't cut corners. I wait, I practice, I don't cheat the game, and I just make sure I give everything I can get out of it, because what you get is what you get out of everything.
I can relate to that a lot because similar to you, before I actually became like a host and I had my own production, I started out as an intern. Mm-hmm. I started working from camera, CG, playback, then technical directing, right? Once I got to technical directing, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to do my own production. But because I know every person's job, I can speak to it. So when they come to me and they have problems or they say, "Hey, what you think about this?" I actually know about it because I did their job, right? And so I feel like that makes you better, not necessarily better, but more enlightened for your craft, right?
I think you're more of a professional. That's why I think if you know about your craft in every way, you're a professional. People toss around that word professional very loosely, but you got to know about how to set this up, how to do this, how these things work, and everything. And being on time, you gotta do all this. Like how y'all right now on the field had the camera ready. That's professionalism. I could have said no. You still had your equipment. You got your equipment on you because you're a professional. So those little kinky little details makes a man like, yo, I really believe. That's why I was like, oh, you got no, you bet. Let's do an interview, because it's like, yo, that's the craft that you love, and it's like on go. And I love people that hustle like that.
Appreciate that, really do. Obviously, man, so I found you because you went viral for your skits and you continue to go viral for your skits. How did it feel the first time, man, you did a skit and it just blew up?
Bro, I can't even remember the first skit I went viral. I think that, man, I remember back then we thought 100,000 G King and I was viral. It was like, bro, we're going viral 100K. So I think that, I don't know, bro. I just, like when I first started doing skits, it wasn't about going viral. I was so happy that I was doing it and no one was watching. What I really was doing was mastering how to edit, mastering what shot I want, mastering what lane I want to fall into. So it's kind of like when people weren't watching, I was like, yo, perfect. That's how I thought. I was like, let me just put it out. A lot of people want to do social media, but they don't know where to start. I started where, like, coming out of the pandemic, everybody was on their phone. Everybody wanted to do content creation. So when I blew up during everybody trying to do it, it felt great because I was just trying to master like the craft. Yeah. Like while everybody was trying to go viral. Yeah. And I was like, man, now I know, like how you know everything about, I know exactly where I can end on, I know exactly where I can cut to, I know exactly what the girl want to say. So that's I know I'm getting off topic, but I can't remember the feeling when I first went viral. I think I was just probably like numb to it. Cause I was like, I got it. I don't know. I think
you didn't think about
I didn't think. I was like, yo, I think it was the video. Dang, I think it's the video when we were at the hospital and it was super viral and they put it on like World Star everywhere. Where it was a girl like when you sleep with your coworker and she act like,
I know which one.
You know what I mean?
I know which one.
And I was singing Tyrese and the guy was just telling me outside in this, the meet and greet. He was like, bro, and that went super viral. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was just numb to it. I was like, hey, bro, we got to still work. That's how I was like, hey, I was telling my friend, I was like, what's the next skit? You know what I mean? So I just think that I was looking at, y'all were looking at like the funny punchlines. I was like, oh, I got to cut. And this is back then when I put words and explain the scene. I hated that. I was like, yo, it's distracting to what I'm really trying to see or what I want to do. So I just eliminate it. So I look at my skits and say, well, how can I get better instead of going super viral?
I think that's the right mindset, man. Because like what you're basically describing is one, appreciation for your craft, but when you did hit, you were ready for it. I feel like you said, everybody wants to go viral, but I feel like sometimes people aren't ready for it. So when they get it, they can't capitalize on it, or that you see them and then you don't see them anymore, exactly. Right? Versus like you were in it because you're like, listen, I'm just trying to get better at what I do. Yeah. So when it hit, it was like, well, I've been doing this for a while, so you know it ain't really like you said, you were numb to it. Agreed. Yeah. So honestly, I think that's a very genuine, honest, like answer, and people can take away from that. Somebody watching this gonna hear that and be like, this is how I should go about it.
I think a lot of people, I get a lot of DMs like, yo, how did you start? And my journey, everybody's journey is different. So you gotta understand that process. And the process is learning and mastering the craft. I always tell people, learn. If you wanna make like money, they always like, how do you get, like, bro, master what you love doing first. Find that out. Then after that, figure out how to make profit from it. That's all you need to do. Like if my craft didn't involve social media, I wouldn't do it. But I understand that, and I understand that consistency is a great major characteristic that I have to pursue every day. It's the dedication. My pops gave me this analogy, and I'll leave it with you. He said, bro, if you have a steel pipe, right? Take this steel pipe and you drop water on that steel pipe consistently over and over and over. It might take months, it might take years, but in the same spot every day, you will break through a threshold you never thought you can break through, and next thing you know, you're dropping, that pipe is wearing down. That's Hollywood. That is all those no's that people said, hey man, you're not gonna go viral. Oh man, you're putting out trash. And you just constantly dropping water, and you're gonna start seeing that pipe start wearing out. And that's all that hard work and that dedication and the consistency that you put in your craft and your time.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah,
I felt that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm inspired. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, being consistent and mastering your thing that you love and figure out how to make, like, once you master your craft, once you become a master, like a professional, then you want to get paid from it. You got to figure out like how to get profit from it. You know what I mean? So that's why I can tell someone who's just struggling, trying to figure out what they want the next step in life.
I feel that. What are some of the misconceptions, man, that comes along with, just being a stand-up comedian, and especially like in this new age stand-up comedian where social media is like everywhere? I know people always see like the the benefits of it, but like what is something that people don't necessarily think about that you kind of had to like find out just on your own?
Well, I had to find out on my own that these guys, when you do social media, you see these top guys. I had to find out that they're bought and paid for it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I ain't gonna say no names, but they bought and paid for it. It's not organic. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let you do elimination process of that. So that's why I had to find that out, and I was like, oh, okay. So when you do social media, you start wondering why I ain't going, or why they getting,
No, I know.
That's what I'm saying. So I got you. That's why I thought we were all on the even playing field, but I didn't know what they doing behind closed doors.
Okay. All right. Man. Yeah. Before I let you go, man.
Yeah, we should have ended on that, because that was.
Well, this is the last question, man. But because my name of my show is Everyday Amazing, I want to end on this note, man. Tell me a place that you performed at. It can be a city or a stadium that you just find amazing. Still to this day, it's like one of the memories you look back and be like, it just stays with you because it's just,
Las Vegas I shot my special for Hulu, and my man G King flew out there for me. And bro, that high when I got like I did dope. I was filming a special in front of Kevin Hart, and I remember the moment. I remember the crowd. I remember the callback, and everybody went crazy. And I remember I just went to the hotel room. I was like, wow, because you know you hype yourself. It's like a fight. I used to box, right? So I put in the work. I trained, and then when the fight come, you don't remember the fight. You just in there, you're doing what you're supposed to do. So I was on stage doing what I was supposed to do. And I remember that high feeling when that callback came, and it was wild. Yeah, so I remember that feeling. It was
amazing
August.
Moment, huh?
Yeah, it was August last year, 2024. And that special on Hulu. They edited a lot of that shit out, but like live, yeah.
Listen, I've seen the special. It's still the funniest fuck special.
Thank you, bro.
It's still the funniest fuck special, man. So, you know, I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time, man. Like I have such appreciation of what you guys do. I interview people for a living, but you know, you guys have to capture them and make them laugh and make them forget about the bad day they had. And I feel like that's a much harder thing to do.
Shit, yeah, bro. This lady just came to our show. Just said her 21 son passed away a couple of weeks ago, and her only son. And she said it's my first time laughing in weeks. So just to have that kind of burden on me is just like, man. And I listen to her story and I talk to her and I'll say whatever I can do, but just, you know, hearing things and we go through things a lot as well, like, and we got to still perform and entertain. So this is your job. You know you ask for it, so you understand what comes with it.
No, I get that. It's powerful what you guys do, man. But like I said, I appreciate you giving me your time and just, you know, like I said, because like you didn't have to do it, and you know what I mean, but you did it. And like I said, things like that, it's like you paying it forward, because like someone out there might be watching this and they're probably going to be inspired, right? They might be looking to do what you're doing, but they don't know how to start, or they don't know, like, you know, the ups and downs of it. So watching this gives them some type of insight. And so now they may be looking to sign up for a comedy class, looking to really perfect their craft. And so you know, it's like the little things, man. A lot of people sometimes don't realize the inspiration can come from anywhere, right? And you do this every day, and you know, this is your job and stuff like that, but like it affects people in so many ways, man. It makes big changes. And so once again, I just want to thank you for the time, and you know, thank you for keep doing what you're doing. And
appreciate that.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure, man, next time I see you, you're gonna be VIP, so I won't even be able to get an interview.
Nah, like, listen, I think Everyday Amazing with Sky is really gonna blow up. So therefore, as we continue to ascend, I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet each other at the top. So don't worry about it. We'll be VIP, and I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, hey, you remember me? It was in the green room. And Laughs Unlimited. So yeah,
you heard it here. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, Scott.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.